deal. And I was just wondering about, could I put amendment on that?
First off, go watch that video. Second off, story time. So, I am one of 5 older siblings. I was born in 91, and most of my siblings were born in the late 70s or early 80s. And so, my parents had me as a surprise. They already had 4 kids, and they had me as a surprise, right? And my parents were 42 when they had me. And so, that means that they were born in the late 40s. So, my father grew up in Louisiana. And he was living through Jim Crow and segregation, okay? When he was in high school, he ended up going to a military school, but after a while, he ended up getting moved to a school, a newly integrated school in North Carolina, high school in North Carolina, and he had to deal with a bunch of the white kids there being racist as per usual. And I mean, he was but he still had to deal with them, and so that was a thing, right? And so my father, growing up in the South in the 1950s and 60s, it doesn't weigh lightly on me. My father went through Jim Crow and segregation. That means that if my father is 75 years old today, that wasn't even more than 70 years ago, 80 years ago, whatever, that he was dealing with that. And that's not even that long. That's not even that long ago at all. And so for me to have a living relative who went through Jim Crow and segregation in one of the most racist parts of the South, and knowing that they are trying to bring back Jim Crow in Mississippi, and they are trying to bring back lynching by a tree, hanging by a tree in Tennessee, it's not lost on me that we need to get it together, because those times were scary. And we really need to, as a black community, come together and fight this, because it's not going to be a pretty picture, and these bills that are being passed or trying to be passed are going to affect all black people in this country, all of us, and we have to come together and fight this, because it's not going to be a pretty picture. It is not going to be a pretty picture at all. It's going to be scary, but we have to fight. We have to fight.